Hey everybody, Dark Zekrom here. Before this video starts, I just want to preface, because I think we mentioned it in the video, but it was after we started talking about everything. This video is going to contain major spoilers for all of the Marvel movies, pretty much. The entire MCU, we talk about a lot of different spoiler points and little plot points and things. So if you have any movies that you are interested in watching, go watch them before you watch this video, and then come back and you'll be able to see what we think about those characters you were curious about. But without further ado, enjoy the video, guys. Thanks so much. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Dark Zekrom back with...
Storm Targaryen.
Yep, they're going to start every video like that because that's the way we're handling it now. We're back with yet another video. A little bit quicker in time between the last one. But this time we got something very different. Instead of sodas, we're ranking Marvel movie characters. So not the movies themselves, but the characters in the movies. And not every single one, because we'd be here for probably a good 8 hours. So we're ranking some of the main villains, main protagonists, but also some of the side characters that we felt deserved to be talked about a little bit. But I'm gonna hand it over to Storm to explain what we're actually doing the rankings by this time. So go ahead, Storm.
Yeah. So the way we're doing it, right, is like Jason just said, we took out some of the characters that aren't super important, some of the villains that were just lackluster, because we don't want to keep saying the same thing. Of like, yep, basic Marvel movie villain, let's move on. Like,
Exactly.
we want to have something to say. But the way we're going to be ranking them is basically a combination of a few things. We're going to go, one, how good is their character, like their character arc, where they start, where they end. Two, how strong are they? Like, if they are a hero, if they are a villain, how much power do they have? And then the last thing is just if we like them or not.
Yeah.
Obviously, tier lists are always subjective. There's nothing you can really do about it. So, that's going to factor in as well.
It's gonna be part of the listing here. So without further ado, let's jump into it with one of the biggest things I think we could possibly start with: Thanos. Thanos himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd just be being rude if Thanos isn't S tier.
Yeah.
Like he's literally the strongest villain to date. He's a really interesting character, honestly. Like,
Absolutely.
Even if you don't like him, you want to call him bald, like looking like King Neptune.
Bald.
But I mean, he's insane. Like, obviously, he's the Mad King, and the best villains are the villains who think they're the hero, and he definitely is that.
Yeah, he absolutely thinks he's doing the right thing, even though it's very much not. He's got a lot of development. There's multiple versions of him that we see. He's definitely a very developed character, definitely super strong. I don't think you could even doubt his strength. He almost deserves an SS tier, but we're not going to do that this time. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely without a doubt, definitely S tier, 100%.
Yeah, like the dude one-on-one bodied the Hulk. Like that's insane. And I think we're gonna go about this as we go on the tier list, but most villains, or a lot of villains in Marvel, are just kind of incompetent. Like, they can't really do much once they get in a fight.
Yeah.
He's not that. Like, this man almost got his arm chopped off and still killed half the Avengers. Like,
yeah, it's
wild.
Nutty. Real nutty.
Yeah.
But
so when it comes to villains, I think we can all agree Thanos is in a league of his own.
Yeah, he almost speaks for himself. I don't think we really needed to talk about him, but we had to, of course. Next up, go from the greatest to like, he's okay. We got Ant-Man.
I mean, it's weird. I'm thinking, all things considered, he goes in A tier because like, as a character, we need Ant-Man. We need one hero in the Avengers to be like, oh my god, I'm an Avenger, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need someone to be like the surrogate audience. And I think Paul Rudd is amazing. He's hilarious. As a hero, he's pretty strong. Obviously, when he becomes Giant Man, that's when his power goes to another level. But just being regular Ant-Man, he's really strong too.
Yeah.
And he's just like a super fun character,
Yeah, he's definitely he's really fun in his own movies, and even in not his own movies, he's really good too. But for me, he just kind of left something to be desired at the same time. Like, he's a great comic relief. Like you said, he's a great kind of surrogate for the audience. But at the same time, it's something like a little lackluster about Ant-Man. Like,
yeah, I mean, just because, he's an Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
You know what I mean? Like, the other heroes
Bugs.
literally make jokes about him.
Yeah.
So I get that, but I don't know. I think he's a really good character. If in Ant-Man, getting to see him, just all he wants to do is be like a good father and get on the right track, but he literally can't because he's an ex-con, so that leads him to becoming Ant-Man, and the whole thing is be the hero your daughter wants to be, and he kind of had the hero-daughter relationship before Iron Man did it. He did it before it was cool. So
that's
I
a
think he
valid
gets a lot of
point.
points for that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Para definitely, his humor and his delivery definitely carries the character though. So yeah, I think A's a good spot for him. Alrighty, next up is Vision.
I'm like kind of torn on Vision because on paper he should be like S tier just based on power alone, but from what we see in the movies, he doesn't really do much.
He's kind
of,
what
I mean?
He's kind of a kind of throwaway almost. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like when he gets introduced in Age of Ultron, it's really fun because they have that scene where everyone's trying to lift the hammer and no one can do it. And then as soon as Vision is created, he just hands Thor his hammer and it's like, all right, guys, we gotta go. like that's great. And then in Age of Ultron, he ends up being the one to kill Ultron ultimately, and that's cool. But then after that, he doesn't really do anything. Like even in Civil War, especially in Endgame, like this man just gets bodied. Like it's just
kind of.
I feel like he's overhyped.
Yeah.
And as far as like character arc wise, it is interesting. His love interest going on with Scarlet Witch, that is fun. But I mean, it's not as fleshed out as I would want it to be. Like a lot of the romance arcs in Marvel movies aren't super fleshed out. This one especially, it kind of felt like it was out of nowhere.
It felt like they kind of expected you to know that it was happening without telling you that it was happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're just supposed to know that they went on dates during the time between these two movies. You're just supposed to know what happened during those, but we don't. We want to see that. That's show us that stuff. Also, we should probably preface, and I'll probably put a thing in the beginning. So if you get to this part and saw it already, spoilers, like lots of them, like every spoiler you can possibly imagine is going to be in this video. So if you want to really watch a Marvel movie, go watch it first, then come back and see what our opinions are. So again, if you watched it again, hi. We're saying it again. If you saw it earlier, because I'll probably add a post edit in there. But yeah, so spoilers. But anyway, I'm thinking like B for this guy.
That's what I'm saying. Because like, if you look at his power set, he is really strong. It's just we don't get to see it very often. So
yeah,
I feel like the highest he can go is B.
I don't know. He's a bit disappointing. But Tom Holland, on the other hand, great character.
Dude. Oh my god, dude. Spider-Man is sick. And like we don't have to have the debate of is this the best Spider-Man or not, because that's a whole rabbit hole that we don't want to go down. But he's great. Like Tom Holland as Spider-Man is amazing. Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home are both great movies, super fun, super funny. And obviously Spider-Man's a really strong hero. But the thing that I think makes Spider-Man really good is in Spider-Man Homecoming specifically, there's a scene where he is kind of like stuck under rubble and he's like really struggling to get out. And like for a split second there, like you just realize, oh, this is literally a 15-year-old kid. Like he should not be doing this at all. And then he breaks out of it. He has a superhero moment. He goes on to, save the day. But I think the best thing about Spider-Man is that he is the everyman hero. Like Ant-Man is kind of the everyman as well, but Spider-Man is like anybody could be Spider-Man. Yeah. Like anyone can do that. So it makes it really relatable in that way.
Yeah, with some of the leaks and rumors and cast for some of the next Spider-Man movies, definitely anybody can be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
But I mean, Spider-Man's great. He's super funny. His powers are really strong. Great character. And, obviously in Infinity War and Endgame, he has the moments with Tony, that whole relationship of them kind of being like surrogate father and son is really heartwarming.
It's really good.
He's an easy S tier character.
I was about to say, S tier for sure. Definitely below Thanos, though.
Yeah, I would say.
I might have to like kind of say it early. I don't know if anyone's gonna go above Thanos.
We'll see. We'll see though. I got some ideas.
I'm blanking on her name, but I thought she was a really good character. Mantis. That's it.
Mantis is fun.
She's hilarious.
Mantis is a fun character. She's so funny. I feel so bad for her. She's getting roasted.
She does get
Guardians
roasted
of the Galaxy too.
Her and Drax together is really funny too.
Yeah, they're a super funny pair, and her powers are interesting, like the whole feelings stuff she's got going on.
You got to have at least one of those types of superheroes / magical creatures in these kinds of movies,
But that's what I was gonna say is I feel like that's what holds her back You know, her powers just aren't that strong.
Yeah.
Like she could easily not be in the Guardians, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So,
Well, she's kind of pivotal for the.
I mean, like she has her moments. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if you had to take anyone out of the Guardians, I feel like she's probably the first choice. You know. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't put her any lower than B, though. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. If we're going if we're putting character a lot into it, yeah, I would say so, because she's just a fun character. You know, I like having her around.
Now, is she above or below Vision?
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah. Alrighty, we got Clawman.
He's interesting. Like, you know, as a villain, he served his purpose of, like, you know, doing the stuff in Age of Ultron, in Black Panther. You know, he had to die so that Killmonger could get into Wakanda. And he was fun, like, as a villain. He was all right. He's definitely more memorable than other Marvel villains, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's just okay. Like,
yeah, I think
too special.
Just from like image alone, like I recognize this character as a villain. He's very like his design is very villainous, and he, you know, he's written in a way that really portrays that and is done pretty well. He's not like evil scientist villain. He's kind of like cool mafia boss villain without like the mafia trope. So I think it works from like that aspect of things, but also at the same time, he wasn't too, what's the word I'm looking for? He wasn't too eye-catching. Like he doesn't stick to you.
He's not super memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think because of that, he goes in C tier.
I think that's a good spot for him. He's got good qualities. Yeah, he's got great qualities, but it's just he's not fully there. You know, he's villain man number 3. You know, he just kind of does his villain stuff, and then he does more villain stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, what you gonna do? Gamora.
Here's the thing. Like, as a character, Gamora's great. Like, she's so fun to have around.
Yeah.
I think she's more fun than Mantis is. Obviously, she can take care of business. That's for sure. And you know, her relationship with Thanos and Nebula is really interesting.
Yeah, finding all that out, really cool.
So that's really fun to have familial ties in the story. But just as like power wise, I mean, she's kind of a person with weapons, like very similar to Black Widow.
Yeah.
Just kind of shoots and stabs,
somewhat superhuman strength, but like it's like a little more
like acrobatics.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, her power is definitely holding her back on this tier list, but she's fun. Like she's a really cool character for sure. Especially seeing where she goes from Guardians 1 to Endgame.
Yeah. Oh man, if we're going based off development, absolutely S tier. But we've got to factor everything else in. So I think that kind of puts her in A. But I don't know where though in A, like above or below.
I'd say below Ant-Man. That's totally fine.
I think so too. Yo, baby Groot. Talking about growth from a character.
Listen, the fact this is gonna be weird because we have all the phases of Groot on here, so we can't factor in character development because he's in different spots. The only time we can consider it is teen Groot, because then he's literally grown up. But baby Groot is adorable. Obviously, we love baby Groot, but it doesn't really do much. It kind of just almost kills everybody by pressing the wrong button. So we love him, but I don't think we could put in anything higher than D tier because he just kind of exists to be cute, which is fine. We love that, but like
he's the minion of this movie.
No, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. He's not the minion. I don't know what he is though. But he's
definitely like the comedic relief.
He's like
he's the merch selling character. That's who he is.
He's like the little dragon from Mulan.
Yeah,
Like,
but without Eddie Murphy's funny charm.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of charm, it's just pure cuteness.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So shout out to Baby Groot, but there's not much there.
Yeah.
You know.
Alrighty, non-angry Hulk. Actually, that's a lie. Always angry
Banner.
Hulk. Bruce Banner.
Dr. Banner. I think he's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
Especially, so I feel like we shouldn't factor in the Incredible Hulk version of him, like from the movie.
It's
different actors. It's Edward Norton, not Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, we're talking about Mark Ruffalo. I fully think Mark Ruffalo is the one that we need to be talking about.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, Norton didn't do a bad job, but I think Ruffalo kills it, like absolutely kills it as this character. Like I love
Definitely.
that he's just, you know, super reluctant at first for obvious reasons, and he gets to be more comedic and more relaxed with the group, but he still has that, like, especially in the first Avengers. Like if you go back to watch it, he's way more on edge in that movie. Like
Yeah, he's super like twitchy and doesn't talk to anybody and
Mhm.
like wants to keep to himself.
Yeah, and then you know, he has some great moments of like, you know, that's my secret captain, that stuff, and when he jumps out of the plane and Ragnarok, that's great. I won't spoil what happens there, Jason, but it's fun.
I do need to
And
see Ragnarok.
but then he has the weird thing about him though is he has the love arc with uh, Black Widow.
Yeah,
Where they have that whole thing going on.
it feels
But
almost forced.
that's the thing. It's the same thing with Vision and Scarlet Witch. I feel like we missed something, and then out of nowhere, they have a thing. Like the sun's getting real low. Like what? Where did that come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm so confused.
Maybe in Black Widow's movie we'll get more into it because isn't that a prequel?
Yeah, it is, but I think it's before they meet.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not. Then.
I don't know that for sure. You can correct us if we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure that would be beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Banner's great, but obviously his power level is super low because, you know, he's just a regular dude. But he is one of the smartest people in the universe, and, you know, he helps create Ultron.
That's true. That is a different type of power.
So he's definitely useful. It's just, you know, he's not incredible. But all things considered, I think he goes like top of B tier or maybe even A tier, whatever you want to do.
I kind of want to put him in A tier just because how well Mark Ruffalo handles him.
He is pretty great.
Yeah.
But I don't think he goes higher than the other two.
No, not at all. Valkyrie, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Now Valkyrie is great. Like we're gonna say it a lot, or at least I'm gonna say it a lot. But I firmly believe that Thor Ragnarok is one of, if not the best Marvel movie ever made. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
I've heard nothing but good things. I have yet to fully watch it. I really need to.
But Valkyrie is one of the biggest reasons why. She's hilarious. Like, her intro is hilarious. Everything she does is really fun. But she's also super serious and can kick ass when she needs to. Yeah. And her backstory is wild. Basically, she was part of the Valkyries, which are like a group of women who ride on like Pegasuses and kill people essentially. But Hela, the villain from Thor, like murdered almost all of them, and she deserted them, and that she's like the last one alive. And then becomes a drunk because she can't handle that trauma, which is pretty crazy.
You know, but wow, how relatable!
Yeah, a whole mood. But she's great and she's really strong, and especially in Endgame when you get to see her in her like full Valkyrie mode, it's super cool. I just wish we got more time with her. You know, like I'm excited to get more time with her as a thing, because as of right now, you know, Phase 4 hasn't started yet as at the time we're recording this, so I'm sure we'll get more from her.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I think she's pretty great, like easy A if not S. So
I mean, I can't say much. I've only seen Endgame, and she was pretty badass in Endgame. And that sounds like I've only watched Endgame out of any of these movies. The movies she's involved in the most, I've only seen Endgame. So I don't really have a full say. So if you think she's S, then we can put her in S. Or if you think she's top A, we can put her top A.
I'd say put her in between Ant-Man and Gamora for now. Then if we want to move her up, we can.
Okay. Alrighty. So if we haven't had any hot takes yet, I think we're going to have some hot takes now. This character is what inspired us to do this video. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, Captain America's sidekick, for lack of a better term, his Robin to his Batman. I think he's extremely one-dimensional. I don't think he's developed very much at all. Storm can say what he needs to say about him in a minute, but I was never too happy with Bucky. He got his own movie basically, and it just kind of felt like he was the same character for the whole movie. And then throughout subsequent movies, I don't think he was any different. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this character. I think he's cool. I like his look. I like that he uses a cool gun. His arm's fun. But as a character as a whole, his development is really just holds him back a lot.
Yeah, I like legitimately hate this character, like not only because he is the source of so many problems in the MCU, like oh my god, like if you just like it's annoying, but also how he changes Captain America's arc as well. Because
Yeah.
Captain America, like, I mean, obviously he's a great character, but he kind of for a while there, for a good streak, Captain America's whole arc is no, Bucky, we gotta save him. He doesn't mean it. Like that just becomes his whole character and super unlikable, at least in my opinion. So I really don't like Bucky because of that. And then on top of that, as a character, he's just kind of there to be Captain America's friend, who, guess what? We already have that in Falcon and Sam. So he's just kind of best friend number 2. I know he was originally number 1 because they were best friends, you know, before he froze and everything, but like he's just so lame. Like he doesn't even do anything. And the fact that he does all these things and he kills Iron Man's parents and all that stuff, he doesn't even get like a whole Jaime Lannister-esque redemption arc. He just is like, oh yeah, sorry, Tony, my bad.
Yeah,
like,
shouldn't have done that. I was kind of brainwashed, you know.
Yeah, and like obviously we understand that he's brainwashed, so there's only so much he can do. But I just wish they brought him into the series better because like I want to like him. He's cool.
His design's great. He's got a really cool like edge to him. He's almost the Shadow the Hedgehog of the movies. I mean,
and like we do get fun moments with him too, like with him being in Wakanda, for them fixing his arm and
he was good in Infinity War. He was good in Infinity War, but good from like a enjoyment of an audience standpoint.
Yeah, and his relationship with Sam is funny too. They have a fun back and forth in Civil War, but it's just like for this character, he could have been so much better, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
as you can tell,
for someone that's so important to the overall story, he doesn't like feel super important.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not at all. Yeah.
Like, it's just.
As you can tell, this is the character we've talked about the most. So we were very passionate about this character, as much passionate in a way that we didn't quite enjoy him. So with that, I mean, God, is he below Baby Groot? No, he can't be.
I think he goes above Klaw in C tier.
Yeah.
Like, I just think he's.
We wish
strong.
we could put him
he
higher.
can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's very capable.
He's got a lot of good great reflexes. Great. He's a super soldier. He's super soldier number 2, but not as syringe based.
Syringe based. Anyway, though,
how to describe Captain America poorly.
Oh God.
Anyway,
we're going on to M'Baku from Black Panther. We love him. M'Baku's hilarious. He comes in, challenges T'Challa, gets rocked, and then kind of just, you know, threatens to feed people to his children. So we love him. M'Baku's hilarious. And he's super strong too. He's just, you know, he's just not as strong, obviously, as T'Challa or I'm blanking on Michael B. Jordan's character, but
oh God, more no Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger. So he's fun. It's just, you know, I think his power holds him back a bit. He looks like he'd be
he looks beefy.
Strong. Yeah, he's a thick boy, but I mean, I think power wise, he's just kind of getting held back because he kind of just becomes like big brute dude, you know.
Yeah,
so.
Which again, we were just talking about it. That is a very one-dimensional trope.
Yeah, but he's fun, like because his whole character is like he doesn't talk much. He challenges T'Challa and then loses, and then eventually helps T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
And you know he's a cool character, but I think he's just kind of B tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say bottom of B.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
All right, Red Skull. I don't know how I feel about Red Skull. He's one of the first villains we ever see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because of that, they were kind of still getting their feet a little wet with how they want to handle the plot lines and how the villains and stuff are involved. Because he doesn't show that he's the Red Skull for a while, doesn't he? Right? Like he's...
Yeah, it's a reveal.
It's a reveal, and... I don't know. I like him a lot, especially when he has another reveal, being the guardian of the Soul Stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that was really cool. That was really cool to see. But I don't know. There's something about him. I can't put my finger on it. That's holding me back from putting him too high.
He just honestly, I think he's another D tier because like he's fine. But he's not that powerful.
Yeah.
And he kind of just becomes the baseline for Marvel villains. And that, like, hey, you got to be strong in your own movie. and then not really matter for the rest of it, other than coming back as the Guardian of the Soul Stone. But even then, it's not like he's doing anything crazy. He's just there to stand there and be like, "Sucks to be me."
Yeah,
I
sucks
guess.
I couldn't do it, so here I'm giving it to you.
Like I'd put Baby Groot over him, honestly.
Oh,
I think
damn.
Baby Groot had more of an impact on the
Valid point.
than Red Skull did. But he's fine. He was fun for the movie.
He's intimidating. Like, he looks scary. I wouldn't want to meet this guy in an alley,
Yeah.
But I think that's all he's got going for him.
Basically.
I don't know. Captain America.
So after everything I just said about Bucky, I think my stance on Captain America. I'm not the biggest fan of him.
Captain America is my father's favorite superhero.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think we all know why. He's the definition of the selfless hero.
Yeah.
He jumps on the grenade. He'll do anything to protect those who need protecting, and he gets a lot of respect for that, as he should.
Absolutely.
And obviously, he's super worthy, as we saw in Endgame. So,
oh man,
he's got to be one of the top 10 best Marvel moments ever.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it wasn't, or you missed out a little bit, Jason, because if you didn't see Ultron, when everyone's trying to lift the
parts.
Hammer, yeah, he almost moved it, and Thor got a little scared.
Yeah, Thor like, and that's where he goes, "I knew it," and
that's why he says, "I knew it." Yeah, it's super fun. But Captain America, my bias aside, great character. You get to see him evolve over time and start to question, everything he believes in, because before he's pretty naive, comes pretty hardened, and then eventually, leads the charge. And obviously, he's the main leader. Fights the Sokovia Accords in Civil War. And he's one of the figureheads of Marvel as a whole.
I'd say he's one of the figureheads of just superheroes in general.
Yeah, you don't have the MCU without Captain America. You just don't.
He's also the man of many memes,
Many memes.
So you decided to watch a Tier Mania video, and he's America's ass, You can't deny Chris Evans' impact as Captain America.
And so I think easy S tier.
Yeah, I think above Spider-Man, but I don't know.
I'd say as far as character growth, yes, but above Thanos.
Power-wise, though, because he does get the hammer. He does get Mjolnir.
Thanos literally almost won Endgame.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Storm, I think you got this one all on your own because you're the one who told me to keep this here.
If you haven't seen Captain Marvel, you're probably like, why in the world is this cat here? Obviously, as a character, there's nothing to say about it. It's a cat. However, if you don't know, this is the reason why Nick Fury has an eye patch, because the cat scratched his eye out. And two, this cat was holding the Tesseract in it for a long time. It's actually an alien. It's not a cat. I think it's a Kree disguised as a cat or something. I can't remember, or something along those lines. It's actually an alien that's super strong, and it's fun for laughs. It's fun for the memes, but obviously can't rank it that high. We just had to include it because it's literally
pivotal to the entire
Infinity Stone for a long time. So
it is pivotal to the entire MCU.
So I think he goes below Red Skull, but I don't know if we could put him any higher.
He has to be there though.
He does have to be here. Correct.
Alrighty, Captain Marvel.
So I'm gonna be honest. Power-wise, S tier.
Oh yeah.
I think character-wise, it bumps her down to A tier.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole ton to her character. She's just in the movie. She's just like, I'm trying to figure out who I am, and that's kind of it. And like she has the quips of other characters and like the jokes, but it doesn't feel as like natural with her. She kind of feels very stoic, as one would be if you're Captain Marvel and you're literally like a god. Like it's just wild.
It's kind of weird. It almost feels unworthy that she has the power level that she has, but also at the same time it does. I don't know. I really like her character. I think Brie Larson played her very well, as opposed to many of the internet reactions. I think she's a great character. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't as impacted as some other people were.
Yeah, I just think when you look at everyone in S and A tier as characters, they have so much more at the table than she does. She's just uber powerful.
Yeah,
so I feel like we should put her like bottom of A tier.
Absolutely, yeah.
Again, she's insanely powerful, but her character is holding her back.
Exactly. I think that's the only thing is she just isn't developed too well, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get that development.
Yeah, because I mean, she's already been established as like incredibly strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would anyone need her? I
Yeah.
mean, like, or not need her. Sorry, because she can just destroy everybody in 1 second. Like, she's got to we don't need her because she's constantly saving the rest of the universe. You know what I mean?
She's busy.
So I don't know how much she's gonna pop up unless we get like Galactus in the future.
Which that'd be cool.
So that would be really cool. But I feel like they're gonna save that for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Who's next?
Agent Coulson, the meme god himself. Mr. Can you sign my Captain America card? Captain America. I don't watch Agent Shield, and we're not considering Marvel shows in this. So obviously Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, etc. isn't going to be here. So we lose a lot of character development there. We only get what's in the movies. But from what we've seen in the movies, super fun guy, super caring character. Sacrifices himself, gets ultimately killed by Loki in Avengers. But he's just a great dude to be around. But he's just, at the end of the day, he's just a normal dude, so he can't really be that high on the tier list. But for what we got for him, really fun time. Very much like a heat check guy. Like, he comes in and you're like, whoa, who is this guy? And then he's gone.
There he goes. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like we can't put him any higher than C tier.
Yeah. Is he above Bucky though?
I'd say he's in between Bucky and Klaw, because he does have a huge impact on the story. It's just we only get him a little bit in the MCU.
Yeah. Okay. Quicksilver.
I mean, here's the thing. At least for me, I know a lot of people feel this way too, but I got spoiled by X-Men because Quicksilver in Days of Future Past is incredible. Like, he's so good. If you haven't seen it, watch X-Men Days of Future Past. The Quicksilver scenes are so fun. They're so fun, and he's so strong in that.
I've seen a lot of clips from it.
Yeah, and then there's some really cool stuff. But when you compare it to the MCU, Quicksilver is like super lame. I'm gonna be honest. It's so bad. But it's just, when they set the standards so high, it's kind of hard to follow that up.
It's weird that they didn't link the X-Men movies.
Well, it's just because of legal stuff. That's
I guess, that's a good point.
They sold the rights to X-Men a while ago, and it's really hard to get them back.
Yeah.
But they're working on it. But yeah, with Quicksilver in this, like, he kind of just shows up. He has some fun little moments, like trying to grab Thor's hammer, just getting flung across the room, and like just punching Captain America in the face at like full speed in slow motion. But then he wasn't fast enough. How do you have super speed and get shot? Like, I don't understand why they did that. Because like, when he's there, he's running in slow motion, similar to the Quicksilver and X-Men. But Quicksilver X-Men is literally moving bullets with his finger, and then Quicksilver gets shot. So I don't know. I think they did him really dirty.
Yeah.
I wish he was in the story more because he's such a cool character, but I don't think he got got done justice at all.
Unfortunately, and honestly, that kind of puts him like, I think, here.
Yeah, same. Because like
not even his power level can save him.
Like, on paper, he should be A tier, but he's just not.
Yeah, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ScarJo, Black Widow.
Black Widow. It's so funny to like go back and watch her introduction, because like, oh my goodness, it's not what you want the way they introduced her character. But as she goes on, she gets a lot of character development. Obviously, we all know what happens to her in Endgame. But she's a really cool character, and I think she probably is the strongest pure human character that we have.
Yes, I would say so.
It's not enhanced by an arm or something like that.
I would say so. Her and I think Hawkeye are really close. I think that's the whole point.
They're super close. Yeah, exactly. But she's fun. She's fun to be around. Obviously, she has a ton of quips. We're getting her solo movie soon, so we'll see what happens there. And she kind of grows from this very stoic, just here to kick ass character to, ultimately sacrificing her life for the betterment of the entire world. So
entire universe.
It's pretty high up there. Yeah, entire universe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I'm thinking like here.
I don't know about that. I think
really?
I think so. I find Spider-Man way more compelling than Black Widow. That's a personal thing. So
yeah, no, yeah. The more I think about it, I was just thinking from like just how much her character was moved around and how
yeah,
she was handled. That's why I was thinking here.
yeah.
But I guess
Character
Spider-Man's
wise,
also got
yeah, Spider-Man's got a lot to his character that we didn't really talk about much, but
yeah.
and plus Spider-Man is way more powerful than
That's
her as a
true. That's true.
character. So
Okay, you know that makes sense. That makes sense. Alrighty. The father of
The
Chris Pratt.
father. I'm totally blanking on his name.
Me too.
You guys are all gonna be screaming at the screen right now because we should know, but basically, Star-Lord dad.
Yeah, that's why I said the father, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, really fun. Like when he gets introduced, you're like, oh my god, Star-Lord has a dad. We knew it. He's part god. This is amazing. And then he reveals, surprise! I put a tumor in your mom's brain and killed her, and I want to take over the world and use you to do it.
Yeah, very rush of like chapter. Like the
Yeah.
scenes very much change very quickly when this guy gets introduced.
Yeah, it's not what you want as a father figure. Obviously, you know, Star-Lord and the Guardians end up killing him, and that's kind of the end of that. But as a villain, he was fun. You know, that's the biggest thing about these villains is a lot of them, especially the ones we didn't put on the list, are come and go. Don't even remember their names because they're just not. They
don't
just
have much
they're
impact.
just so bland, you know. And he added a lot of style, a lot of flair to it, and I think he gets points for that. You know. So
yeah, I completely agree. He was a good time. I don't think he can be. I mean, he's a literal god, similar to Marvel.
And like and power wise, he's super up there too because he literally like controls planets. You know, he is a planet. You know, so like that's kind of wild. So because of that, I think he goes A tier. Honestly, like that and his character together.
Yeah. I don't think he's higher than anyone else in A tier though.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Alrighty. You've got a lot of passion for this one, my man.
The Grandmaster, the god himself. If you don't love Jeff Goldblum, we can't be friends. Like we can't be friends. Like Jeff Goldblum is a god.
I like Jeff Goldblum for his acting as much as the next guy, but he's also, if you didn't know this, found out through shout out to Charles Cornell. You guys might know him from putting music to the Cardi B videos. He did a video about how Jeff Goldblum is a professional jazz pianist and is like really good, and all of the charm you see from Jeff Goldblum in the movies, go watch some of his jazz pianist performances because it is exactly that, just with smooth, it's just nice jazz music in the background. It's a cool time.
Shout out to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
And his character is so funny. Like I swear they literally were just like, hey, can you be yourself for like 15 minutes? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like it's great. He's this like 1,000-year-old sex monster man. Like it's just wild what they do with him. But as far as power wise, I mean, he is the leader of that whole society. I'm blanking. I want to say Sakaar is the planet, but he's the whole leader of that society and runs the fights there and stuff like that. So you got to be pretty powerful to have that role.
Yeah, maybe not
and obviously
power like strength wise, but power politically.
Yeah, exactly, and you do get points for that. So I love Jeff Goldblum. He's great, but I mean, you know, he's only in one movie and he's there and gone. He doesn't have. I mean, maybe he comes back in future ones, but hopefully. I doubt it. So I feel like we can't put him any higher than B tier. But God, I love the Grandmaster. He's so good. He's so good.
He's great.
But I think that's a good spot.
I think Jeff Goldblum might be our like measure now, similar to how RC Cola was in the last tier list.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Goldblum's our RC Cola.
There it is.
Alrighty, Groot, like Groot
Adult
himself.
Groot.
Yeah.
Groot. I think obviously Adult Groot is the most powerful of them all, and honestly, I think he's the best character too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously he only says I'm Groot, but he starts off with Rocket and just kind of being off on his own with Rocket and doing his own thing, and then eventually becomes part of the team and bonds with them when they're having their speeches and things like that, and ultimately gives his life to save the group. We are Groot, all that stuff. It's great. You know, how can you not love Groot? And he's super strong. Like, he's literally just murdering people all the time.
Kind of unnecessarily strong.
I know. It's like, oh my god. But we love Groot, you know? He's a super fun character. And he's super strong too. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, high key, like high key.
I don't think he's that good.
I think he's so charming.
Yeah, but there's 3 different versions of him,
and all of them are worse than
movie.
This one.
True, but we only got 1 movie with adult Groot.
That's all you need.
I don't know about that.
Fine. Where are we putting him? I think he's got to go like here.
I'd say in between Valkyrie and Gamora.
You think Valkyrie? Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're just more. They're also, we get more of their character in a shorter time.
True.
So.
Okay. Fair point. Nebula.
Who
sister.
Who would have saw Nebula getting one of the most, like, some of the most screen time in the entirety of Endgame? I did not see that coming. Like, whoa. And she's also really cool. Like, seeing her, you literally get to see her growth in front of your face in Endgame. You see the old her and the new her.
Insane. And you really feel for her too.
Yeah, she's going through it in these movies. Like, she gets done so dirty all the time. Like, all the time.
Absolutely.
So, and then, you know, at the beginning, her relationship with Gamora is really fun because they're just both trying to kill each other all the time. But, like, somehow
they're equally matched.
And eventually, you know, they get to become sisters again, and they have that reconnection, and she becomes one of the most important figures in Endgame. So...
Yeah.
I mean, Nebula's up there. It's just we don't get to see her doing her thing as much. Like, I feel like we need more scenes of her kicking ass.
Yeah, the only time she's really in any kind of fight sequence other than Endgame is against her sister, and they're equally matched, so we never get to see what she can actually do.
Exactly.
So we're kind of at like an NA with her power level on this one. So
yeah, I think she goes B tier, like top of or right below Vision.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honest Kratos.
Oh god,
no,
Drax is so fun. Like sometimes it's a bit much, and I'm like, all right, let's relax. Most of the time, he's super fun to be around, super funny. Obviously, he's super strong, but obviously as well, kind of dumb, and he almost gets himself killed a lot because he just kind of runs in there, and not a good look for a guy.
The way they introduce him, he gets taken in such a different direction.
Yeah,
than from when you first.
I think that's what makes him so fun. Is
they
introduce a super intense character, and he's just not. Nothing goes over my head. You know, he's got all the quotes. Why is Gamora? All that stuff. But there's not much to him. Is the problem, and he probably changes the least of any of the characters in this one. And I think that kind of holds him back. And in power-wise, he's good. It's just, I mean, would you take him over anyone in A tier or S tier?
No,
you know?
unfortunately.
So,
I think he's bottom of B tier.
That's what I'm saying. I'd take him back over him, probably.
Yeah. We were talking about one-dimensional Bucky. I think Drax is like on the same level.
He's literally the definition of a one-dimensional or one-note character. He's there to do one thing.
Yeah,
and
but he does it way better than Bucky does.
Exactly. So, just like us, if you want
to. I mean, yeah. Hela.
Moving on. Got Hela.
Under my umbrella. Sorry.
Really cool. Super cool character, like really awesome villain.
Like
literally breaks Thor's hammer, you know.
Ooh, scary.
Kills all the Valkyries except for Valkyrie, you know. Her whole power is just knives. She just like spawns knives and just throws them everywhere. It's insane.
Well, that's where Netflix got that idea. Knives Out. Is that not a Netflix movie?
Well, no, it was a movie. I think it's on Netflix now, but I just remember
people talking about it being Netflix.
Mm-hmm. But you know, she's super strong. She's insanely strong. She's I believe she's also a daughter of Odin or a kid of Odin.
I think that makes sense.
You know, her whole lore is like she ruled for a while, then got a little too violent for Odin and got like banished or something.
What I mean, Thor's based off of like that entire mythology. Like that's like actual mythology, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she is the daughter of Odin.
Mm-hmm. And you know, she's incredibly strong. She breaks Thor's hammer, she cuts his eye out, almost kills him, almost kills Asgard as a whole, almost takes it all down.
Yeah, no, she's scary.
So she's super up there as far as villains go. It's just she was ultimately undone, you know, by all of them banding together and Thor realizing he's the god of thunder, not hammers. So, you know, I think she's better than I think she's like in between Captain Marvel and Banner. And I think she's less involved of a character as Banner is, but is incredibly powerful, but is really fun as a villain.
Yeah.
One of the best ones we have. So shout out to Hela.
Happy.
I love Happy. Super fun. I literally just watched Elf today, and he's in it. He also directs it. So shout out to Jon Favreau.
Damn.
And he also directs The Mandalorian, if you don't know. So
and
Iron Man. So
my dad's been obsessed with Mandalorian. He literally plays the theme song on Alexa every single day and wakes up with it stuck in his head.
Nice. And I mean, he also directed Iron Man, so we literally wouldn't have the MCU without Jon Favreau.
Well, we really wouldn't.
Anyway, though, as a character, he's fine. He's fun. You know, he cracks a lot of jokes. He's there to help with the Hydra invasion and help Iron Man and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really do much, and especially in the new movies, he's kind of just there to hit on Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. So he's kind of just there. Like he probably got tier. Like I feel bad because I like Happy a lot. It's just he doesn't really bring anything to the table over anyone. Maybe we could put him at the bottom of D tier, but just so we don't be mean.
Yeah, but he's not F tier.
He's a fun character. He's really nice. He has some hilarious moments in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but you know he's just a Shield agent that isn't that good. You know what I mean? So yeah,
he's just kind of there. Hulk, where else can we put Hulk other than like no lower than A tier?
Yeah, it's the thing that's holding Hulk back is just that his character is ripped from him because Banner is his whole character. Like they kind of complete each other. I think we kind of just have to put him right next to. Well, I don't know, man. Hulk is ridiculously strong, like ridiculously strong. Like if they went like the comics route on Hulk, he would be the S tier of S tier. Hulk is insane. But from what we see in the movies, obviously all his scenes are amazing. Getting to see him Hulk out is great. Puny God, all that stuff. It's awesome. We just don't get that much of him. You know, I wish we got more Hulk in our lives because it's so fun.
Yeah, not until Endgame, and he's Bruce Banner Bulk. He's Bulk.
Yeah, I hated. I hope we don't have to call him Bulk because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I hated Bulk. Like I really didn't enjoy that. I know some people did, but anyway. But Hulk, incredibly strong. Just, you know, since we're ranking him and Banner differently, he doesn't have a character arc. He just kind of is there.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Tough look for
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But
yeah, we just got to put him there. But if we put them together, they're easily S tier.
Oh, yeah. If we could combine them. Oh, well, where's Bulk? We could put Bulk in S tier.
I put Bulk in like D tier. He's so annoying.
I see this as an absolute win.
Exactly. Oh, man. Anyway, though.
Thor, Hulk's buddy.
Thor, I think he rivals Thanos right now for being the best character.
Absolutely.
Like.
Now this is pre-Fat Thor. This is the image anyway. The image. No, the image. The image is pre-Fat Thor clearly, but we are including everything.
Ragnarok. That's Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thor. Honestly, I think he's above Thanos.
I definitely have to agree, just because of his character development.
Yeah, you see him in the first Thor and Avengers, and you see him in Endgame. Obviously, Fat Thor is a whole thing, but it's completely different. Like in Ragnarok, he's hilarious, but in you know, in the first Thor and in Thor 2 and Avengers, he's like, you know, I mean, Iron Man makes a joke about it. Doth mother know you weareth her drapes? Like, you know, like that's just how he talks. And it's just the fact that he goes from that to like arguably the most relatable character in the series, and he has real struggles, not just with not killing Thanos, but before that he has real struggles with what am I gonna do? Like my hammer's gone, my hair's gone, like what am I doing? Ultimately has this huge moment in Ragnarok and does his thing, and does this thing in Endgame, but he has a lot of ups and downs, and you're with him the entire time.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is amazing.
Absolutely. I don't think they could have cast a better actor for him.
Exactly. It's he's one of the best. Like he probably might be the best character. We'll see, but he's incredible.
Yeah, love Thor. Can't go wrong with Thor. Next up, we got Teenage Groot, who is literally just a punk. He's punk ass kid.
Shout out to Teenage Groot. I mean, he does. He is still pretty powerful. You see him in Infinity War doing his thing. But the biggest thing that he does is sacrifice his arm to make the axe that kills Thanos. So he does have a big role, and he's hilarious. Like it's fun for the memes, but I don't think we can put him any higher than bottom of B. Because he's just kind of there. He's
the in between stage, and that's kind of his whole point. But even if that is his whole point, it doesn't really excuse it from being not that interesting.
Exactly. So I mean, R.I.P.
Anyway, you said this is the Mandarin, right?
Yeah. So
this is the Mandarin.
Yeah. People hated that they did this to the Mandarin because he's a really important character in the comics and a very strong character there. And here he's just a meme. Like he's just like, oh, sorry guys. Like he's like the MCU equivalent of like a TikTok star, But he's funny. I really enjoyed his reveal, but I know a lot of people hated it and hated that he's here. And as a character, he's funny, but he just he has his little moment and that's it. So I don't think we can put him any higher than D tier. He's probably F tier, honestly, because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
he doesn't do anything. He's just an actor,
Yeah,
so he's probably F tier.
Unfortunately, that is where he's gonna have to go. Killmonger, on the other hand,
completely different villains. Completely. Arguably, well, other than Thanos, probably the best MCU villain we have. Like, incredible performance by Michael B. Jordan. Super interesting character. The epitome of the villain that believes he's right.
Yeah.
And is really, really interesting. Like, he honestly has a point. Like, his whole thing, his whole campaign. Like, you can understand it. Like, with most villains, it's like, I want to take over the world, man. And, like, that's...
Okay,
that's
good luck with that,
whole...
buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good job, bro. But with him, like, obviously he's ultimately trying to take over the world, but he wants to start small. He wants to start branching out Wakanda and, taking over the Masters, so it's really interesting. He's a really fun character, really strong. Obviously, he straight up basically murders T'Challa. Like, doesn't actually, but comes really close to murdering him in cold blood. And kills Klaw, and he's just super, super strong, especially before he gets the Black Panther juice, the Black Panther lean, whatever that is they're drinking. But once he gets it, he's insane, and his motivations are believable, and he's just a really, really, really good villain. I think he's S tier, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm just sad we didn't have more of him.
Where would you put him?
I'd put him. I put him below Black Widow, and I think he's there, because like we just only got one movie.
True. So far,
he made an impact for one movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
I think Black Panther 2 is confirmed, isn't it?
Okay, it is, but I don't think he's gonna be in it unless they resurrect him, because he dies.
Yeah, we'll see though.
Yeah, because I mean, like I want him to be in it, but the thing is, his whole character arc is that T'Challa could have saved him, but he's like, I don't want to go out like this. Like my ancestors died because they jumped off the boat. Like they jumped off the slave boat. I don't want to be like them.
Yeah.
Like so, it'd be kind of weird if they brought him back, but I'd be happy. So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Anyway.
Blue Thing.
Korg. What a guy.
Korg.
Fortnite champion himself. He's just fun. The fact that it's the director, it's Taika Waititi voicing him, is really fun. And you could just like feel his personality in the movie, like throughout the whole movie, but in Korg specifically, like he's just like quirky, fun. Obviously he's strong because he's a giant rock monster, but you don't actually see him fighting much.
He's a giant rock monster.
But he's just super fun. He's a really polite guy, super nice. Him and Meek, best duo. But I don't think we can rank him that high, because I mean,
so either.
Like he's probably B or C tier, but I don't know where.
He's better than Bucky.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Alrighty.
So, I have no idea what this character's name is.
Yeah, neither do I.
He looks like if Shaggy from Scooby-Doo got mixed up with the wrong crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's the guy who he's actually really fun in the movie. He has a lot of fun moments. Part of Yondu's crew, and eventually, basically becomes a new Yondu with his arrow.
Yeah.
But he's just there, He's nothing crazy. With Guardians, it's tough because there's so many characters in Guardians, especially Guardians.
My God,
2.
the Guardians, I feel like, is the most characters out of any of the individual movies.
Oh yeah. So it's hard to stand out there. But for the time he got, it was delightful.
Yeah.
With him, it's just we need to see more of him.
Hopefully
so I feel like he's bottom of C tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about there. Yeah. He's cool though. We like him. It sucks we can't remember his name though.
Honestly.
Okay, Star-Lord. Now I do want to preface we're ranking Star-Lord. Yes, we talked about the actors a lot, but we're not talking about the actors' personal lives. We're talking about Star-Lord.
Shout out to Chris Pratt, interesting guy.
Anyway,
love him from Parks and Rec though. But Star-Lord, the character, is definitely really interesting. I think when you look at his character arc, like obviously he hasn't changed much, but he has at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, his parents are dead now. He had to murder his dad. He has a whole joke about that. They're like, oh man, I've gone through it too, guys. But he is really interesting, but he also just does some questionable things. They literally could have killed Thanos in Infinity War if he wasn't there. So, yeah. It's a tough look for my guy, but he is really fun. He's the reason why we have the Guardians soundtrack, which is great.
Also true.
But, and he's really fun. He's really funny. He's a great character to have in the series, but he's also he is half god. But we don't see it too much, other than in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Even then, we don't really see it.
Yeah, so he's kind of, they're using him as like a chubby Han Solo, basically. But, he has the potential to be more than that. So I don't know. I think he goes in B tier because he is a fun character and he has a lot of cool moments. I definitely root for him.
Put him though.
I put him there. Yeah. It's a good spot, but. He's got some work to do. I want to see what they do with him in the next one.
Me too. Kind of funny that he's below his dad.
Yeah. Tough look.
That happens sometimes, though. Mm-hmm. Yo, Nick Fury.
Hold on. Actually, I feel like we should put Star-Lord in A tier and his dad at the top of B tier.
Okay. I think that's fair.
I feel like that makes... Because I'm looking at that, I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Right.
Anyway, though. Nick Fury. The legend himself. Samuel Jackson, the man, the myth, the legend. Fury's a fun character, man. I mean, I know we keep saying that about a lot of people, but Fury's great. Especially, really well. Yeah, especially in Captain Marvel when we get to see his backstory. Young Fury is really fun. But he's the backbone of the MCU.
Without him, you don't have the MCU.
Exactly. He brings everybody together. He's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. He knows everything. Obviously, S.H.I.E.L.D. gets compromised, but still, with what he knows. He's the reason the machine goes. #bars.
Ooh.
And I know, look at me. but he's great. I mean, Fury is just a super, super, super important character.
Yeah.
The only thing is he doesn't have any of the character development stuff because he has to be the stoic leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is. Yeah.
So he misses out on that.
We don't get his development until Captain Marvel, and even then, it's not even much.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, and it's hard to rank him power-wise too, because obviously you have to be pretty powerful to be the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. But
we never really see him do anything.
Yeah, you see him do stuff in Captain Marvel, but like as far as like actual one-on-one combat, there's not a ton there. It's more of what we said about
the Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster. It's more about political power here.
Yeah.
So I think because of that he goes like top of B tier, but since he doesn't get any. We don't get to have any real character development there. You can't go any higher.
Yeah. I think that's a fair spot. Rocket Raccoon. This dude is a bad-mouthed piece of crap, man, but he's great.
I love Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
He's great.
Wonderful character. Absolutely. Cool. He's got feeling and emotion, even though he tries to portray that he doesn't.
That's the thing, right? And that's what makes him a great character, is that he's trying so hard to can conceal his feelings and conceal his quote-unquote weakness as he sees it, but that's what makes him. I was gonna say that's what makes him human, but he's not. So, but also, I mean, he's a rough life. He doesn't even know what he is. You know what I mean? Like, like in Guardians 2, Star literally makes a joke. He's like, "Shut up, Raccoon," and he's like, "Don't call me a raccoon." And Star Lord goes, he's like, "All right, I'm sorry, Trash Panda." And he's like, "Is that better?" And then Star Lord's like, "It's so much worse." Like whispering it to someone else. Like, and he's had a rough life. He gets experimented on, and that's how he becomes Raccoon. But still, he's going through it. Raccoons have a short lifespan, so we'll see how long he's around for. But when he's there, it's great. He's super funny. Obviously, he has a bunch of fun scenes, like with the eyeball and stuff like that. But he's just a really fun person to be around. He's just not that powerful. He's just a raccoon with a gun. So,
yeah, true. The voice actor plays him real well, though.
Shout out to Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper kills it.
But I think his power holds him back.
Yeah. Well, he's really smart, though.
Yeah, he is really smart. He is.
Bit of a smart ass, too.
I'd say he goes. I'd say he goes right in between Mantis and
yeah, I think so too. As much as I want him a little higher. Again, so like the last one, this is not our tier list. If it was, we would have chosen a better picture for Hawkeye. It's just not a good picture for Hawkeye. But Hawkeye.
I've gone on a journey with Hawkeye. I hated him at first. I was like, why is this dude in the MCU? I don't understand it. And then I believe it's in Ultron, you get his backstory with his family and all that, and at the start of Endgame, you see his family disappear. He goes through that whole phase of being edgy in Tokyo, whatever the heck he's doing. He just cosplays John Wick for a little bit. Go around there. And then eventually he wants to sacrifice himself for the Soul Stone, but Black Widow does it, and he returns to his family, and he's a good dude. He's actually pretty funny. I feel like this is rude, but I feel like he's Ant-Man light. He's not as funny as Ant-Man, and he has the family stuff. But I feel like Ant-Man is just a better character. Maybe that's just me.
No, I agree with that.
But he is really good. I feel like he's just kind of getting held back.
I have to mention this because anytime we talk about Jeremy Renner, I have to bring it up. Jeremy Renner, I don't know if you know this, started his own Instagram-like app where only he could post to it, and it was only pictures of himself. I don't know if you knew about that, but I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, Jeremy Renner made an Instagram app an Instagram styled app where it was only him posting pictures of himself that people could comment, like, and react to.
That's something. Already.
Yeah, I don't remember why it got taken down, but it had to get taken down. But when it was up, it was popular as hell. So I have to mention that. Nothing to do with the tier list. I have to. But no, Hawkeye's cool. I agree with everything you said. He's very much Ant-Man light in the nicest way possible. He's too edgy to be funny, but when he's funny, it's funny. And yeah, he feels like he shouldn't belong. He feels even less fleshed out than Black Widow, and Black Widow isn't that fleshed out.
I mean, the thing is, they try with Ant-Man, or not with Ant-Man, sorry. They try with Hawkeye. They give him a lot of screen time. They do,
but it's not a lot of development screen time.
Yeah, he kind of stays the same. Though the biggest development is that he has a family, that is a family man.
Yeah.
That's it,
so that's about it.
But I think he's bottom of A tier, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him.
Lower than that,
Yeah, because he's strong. He's witty, witty. He got his wits about him. Not witty as in funny. Witty as in he's very he knows how to handle himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Falcon.
So I want to like Falcon. I do. I like the actor Anthony Mackie a lot. He has a cool power set, but I don't know. He feels so run of the mill to me.
Yeah, I think the biggest question is this is how you can rank him. Do you feel like he deserves to become Captain America?
And that's why I'm conflicted, because as a black man, I'm like, hell yeah, he does. But then as just a Marvel fan, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't see that coming.
Right, I don't think anyone did.
When I think of heroes that are worthy, he's not in the first 10 that I think of. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird. I get why he did it, because he's basically Bucky if Bucky didn't mess everything up. That's kind of just it. But I don't know. I don't know where to put him, because he just feels so bleh to me.
Yeah, something's off. I don't know if it's because we didn't get much development from him, but we kind of did. I don't know if it's because he wasn't written well for the actor. I don't know what it was, but I agree with you. I think we could have gotten a lot more out of Falcon. We didn't really get to see him fight much either.
I mean, he has his moments in Winter Soldier. He has his moments in Civil War. But other than that, I mean, he gets his ass kicked by Ant-Man and whatnot, and it's just a tough look for my guy, because I like him. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they haven't done much. Well, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with him going forward.
But
it's just as of now.
That's the thing, though. I feel like if we do this again and we like revamp this when all these next movies are out, we can't rank him the same. We have to rank Falcon and we have to rank new Captain America, because he's going to be a completely different character now. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I don't think he can be any higher than like C tier.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're gonna get some heat for it, but if you feel like he's better, give us the reasons why.
Yeah, we do want to know.
Like, we want to put him higher, but it's just, I don't know.
We can't think of anything.
So yeah, that's all we got.
Black Panther, R.I.P.
Black Panther, R.I.P. Chadwick, the legend himself. But as a character, amazing. Like T'Challa's great.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my God, Black Panther was amazing, and in Civil War, his introduction was really cool. I do understand the argument. Some people are like, Black Panther's not that good. He's overrated. But the way he was introduced was super cool, with him, being, I'm the prince. Can't wait to be Black Panther. And then his dad just dies, like in his arms. He's like, oh my God, I'm Black Panther now. And he has this whole revenge arc trying to kill Bucky, because Bucky was brainwashed into blowing the building up and all this stuff. But then when you get to Black Panther, you get to see him in action in Wakanda doing his thing, and he lives up to the hype on us.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing as T'Challa, and as the Black Panther, and just you feel for him, you root for him, and he's just awesome. And as character development goes, he goes from the prince to the king, but he's not a perfect king. You get to see him struggle with that and see him be like, okay, I wanted to do it the right way. Turns out the right way is kind of flawed, and I have to fix that, and I have to continue to evolve and not be so close-minded and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he's a really, really good character. Easy S tier, R.I.P. Chadwick.
Absolutely.
And they've already confirmed that they're not going to be replacing him. So
Thank God. Good to know. Yeah, that's good. Where do we put him now?
I think right there is a good spot. There, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Easy S tier.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So moving on to Pepper, though. I mean, Pepper's great. Like, I think the character gets a lot of flack just because Gwyneth Paltrow kind of has her own thing going on outside of the MCU. But the character Pepper is great. You don't have Iron Man without Pepper. She's the one holding him down and keeping him grounded and making sure he doesn't die, because he doesn't even know his own social security number. So kind of rough look for my guy. But Pepper's great. She becomes, I forget what her hero name is, but she does get a suit. We see her in Endgame, which is really cool.
Iron Woman.
And Tony would also be dead without her. In Iron Man 3, she's the one who saves the day. So
yeah, she's kind of important.
She's very important, and she's a really fun character. Her like quips and jokes that she has are super underrated. Like, she's actually, like, look up like Tony and Pepper compilation on YouTube or something, and she has a ton of hilarious moments. So I think she's one of the most underrated characters in the series. She's just not super powerful, is the thing.
Yeah.
But she has grown a lot. We get to see her go from, wrestling with, oh my God, I'm sleeping with my boss, this is bad, to like completely running the whole show. So
yeah.
Shout out to Pepper. I just think she's B tier, but probably there, like at the bottom of B tier, just because, I mean, she's just a worse Iron Man. You know what I mean?
She's just a human.
Just a human in an Iron Man suit.
What she needs to do. Alrighty. Big bad boy from the first Guardians.
Yeah, Ronan. I wanted him to be cooler, because he is. I can't remember if he's a descendant of Thanos or not. I just know he works for him.
Yeah.
But they just didn't do anything with him. He's just, I blow up things.
I am evil man who is here to steal evil thing.
Yep, that's kind of his whole arc. He's just, I'm evil, and I'm gonna prove Thanos wrong and prove I'm better than him. And then he dies.
He dies to a dance battle, yeah.
Yeah, and he's super just generic Marvel villain. We had to include him because you know, he is pretty powerful, and he's in Captain Marvel as well. Huh?
He's pivotal to the plot of Guardians.
Yeah, true. But I think he's bottom of D tier, maybe even F tier, just as because power wise he's strong. But if you get duped by freaking Star-Lord, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
That's rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a character, he kind of sucks.
Yeah, so. we could get more from him. It's just You see, I would leave him there.
Yep.
All right.
Moving on, though, someone who's not dumb is Shuri, who's insanely smart. Literally, oh my god, she's incredibly smart. She's like one of the main engineers behind all of the Wakandan tech and all the vibranium stuff. On par, if not smarter, than Bruce Banner, who's one of the smartest people in the universe.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And she can fight a little bit. She uses her tech to fight. She has like the arm guns that she does. But she's just not great. You don't want her in battle. She's more of a like if we're going RPG, she's like a support.
Yeah. She's spoilers for Persona 5. She's a Futaba.
Shout out Futaba. But yeah, Shuri's great though. She's super fun too. She's hilarious. All her moments that she gets, especially with T'Challa, are really fun. And she just like her actress. You can just see she's having so much fun with it. You know, like
she's like, I'm in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, and it like moves through the screen, and it makes her character so fun to be around. So I want more of Shuri. Shuri's great. It's just she doesn't have like a ton of development because she's just great off the bat. Like, she doesn't go anywhere. So
she doesn't need to go anywhere, but that's okay.
Exactly. So I feel like she's like bottom A tier because of that. Yeah. You know, I can't say she's a better character than Hawkeye, but you know, she's really fun.
Yeah. All right. Stan Lee. Absolutely RIP, but we can't not have him to the point where I'm going to give him his own tier above everyone else because that's what he deserves. He's Stan Lee. I mean, we won't have Marvel without Stan Lee. We wouldn't have what we're talking about right now without him. And as much as life does happen, it sucks that he is gone. But he rest in peace. But we did have to shout him out here. Stan Lee, you're a legend, and thank you for every memory we've ever gotten from the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of you. And yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, but shout out Stan Lee indeed. Moving on to one of his characters, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is legit. Like, he's really powerful. Like, there are a lot of people who will make the case that Doctor Strange is the strongest Avenger based on everything he can do. Yeah. Obviously, he had the Time Stone for a long time, and that's kind of like a cheat code because that's an incredible power to have. And plus, he's fun. Like, obviously, he's a jerk at the start of the movie. Like, he's just not what you want. But you know, he learns humility through the Ancient One and his training and all that stuff, and he becomes a lot better of a character for sure.
Yeah, Pumpernickel Cucumber Latch plays him really well.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Benadryl Clarendon. Yeah. Killed it with that one. But yeah. I mean, it's weird because he does have a whole character arc. It just it felt like it was really quick.
It was really quick because it was the whole movie, and they had to put it in the one movie. He couldn't develop outside of it because he was needed in the movie. So
that's the thing is because of what you just said, he hasn't changed much since then.
Yeah.
But he's incredibly strong and he's a good character. So I mean, I don't think we can put him anywhere but S tier.
No, absolutely not. Where though? I'm thinking
I honestly, because since his character doesn't change too much, I'd put him there. Yeah. I think that's the spot for him.
That's what I'm thinking. Spider-Man's kind of our borderline for S tier, I think.
Yeah, he's kind of the bar.
Yeah.
But speaking of the bar, dude, Loki, the legend, the god, getting on a TV show. Loki's great. Like as a villain, fantastic. Again, up there with the best of the Marvel villains. But just as a character and character growth, top of the line. Like he's where he goes from Thor to now is almost as big of a change as Thor himself.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's wild how much and to the point where he might be dead. We don't know if he's actually dead because God of Deception, and he's died quote unquote multiple times. So we don't know if he's dead for real. But if he is dead for real, he sacrificed his life for Thor, which who could have saw that coming?
No one would have seen that coming.
So he's super funny, especially in Ragnarok and other movies. But he's also still Loki. He's still evil. Like it's just, he's great. He's great as a villain and super fun to be around as an anti-hero, if you want to call him that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he is a really anti-hero is very much what he turns into.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. He's great. Yeah, we like Loki.
I'd honestly say I think he's like in between Captain America and Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's that good.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, Loki's got a lot of fans. I had a friend back in the day who was obsessed with Loki for a lot of reasons. So, we like Loki a lot. Loki deserves to be there. We went from a very high to a very low in Storm's eyes with War Machine.
So, God, I hate War Machine. Like, dude, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, here's the thing, right? Is like, in the first movie, obviously it's a different actor. I want to say it's Terrence Howard. Maybe it was Cuba Gooding Jr. I don't remember. Maybe that's the character name. I don't know. But just like he was really fun and kind of funny in Iron Man 1, and then they replaced with Don Cheadle, who's a great actor. But the way that War Machine works, he's supposed to be like really quippy and have all these jokes and kind of on par with Iron Man as far as like sarcasm and humor goes. But he's just not funny. Like obviously comedy is subjective, but like anytime he does something, I just don't find it funny at all. Like I feel like the joke doesn't land. There's literally a joke in Ultron about how his jokes don't land. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he's not, like, with a lot of these characters, completely perfect casting. With him, I feel like they missed it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't. When I think of War Machine, I don't think of him.
Yep.
You know? Like, I think of just the suit. Like, with no one in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, obviously, as a character, he's strong because he's, he's an Iron Man, so he's got to be up there, but he's not nearly as good as Tony is. So I just think he's just bleh. It doesn't change at all. There. Like he just exists.
He's just kind of there.
He almost dies in Civil War, and then that just becomes just a thing that happened. Like that doesn't affect the character at all. Like how? I don't know. I'm so disappointed in War Machine, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's like bottom of C tier.
I put him in F tier.
I don't think he's that bad because like power wise he's up there.
Yeah.
He's just so bland. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a shame. Maybe we'll get something more with the War Machine character down the line. Who knows though? Ancient One.
Ancient One is interesting. And there was a lot of uproar because obviously the Ancient One is historically a very Asian character, and Tilda Swinton is a very white woman. So it's like kind of odd, the casting there. But I mean, for what we got, she did a good job. I like Tilda Swinton, the actress. But the character is just kind of there to teach Doctor Strange, and then shows up in Endgame. That's it. So
I don't really, I don't really see much of what she's really there for. The
thing is, I'm pretty sure in the comics, the Ancient One is like one of the most powerful characters in the universe. Like,
but that's the comics, unfortunately.
And in the movies, though, she's alleged to have that power. It's just you don't get to see it.
Yeah.
You see it when she's training Doctor Strange, and when she just bonks the crap out of Hulk in Endgame. But other than that, we don't get to see much of her. I just wish we got more screen time with her.
I agree.
So there's not her whole character just exists to be kind of like the as her character entails, the Ancient One. To have the knowledge. So there's not a lot to her is the problem. So I just think power wise, she's got a. I don't know. I think she's like top of C tier below Falcon. Because she has a ton of power. It's just we don't see it, and then her character is almost non-existent. So I don't know. I feel like that's a fine place.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe we'll get more from her, but I don't know. But Tony Stark. I mean, where else can we put him?
I genuinely think this is the best character in the.
It has to be.
Series. It has to be. You don't have the MCU without Iron Man. Period. End of story. Like
Yeah.
obviously it's the first movie that started everything, but also like like we've said a lot about characters that really impact the story and really make things go, but he is the MCU. He is all the quips, all the jokes. He is the number one character. Obviously, he's not the strongest, but he is the one to end up killing Thanos. He is the one to save the world. He is the one to sacrifice himself when no one said he would. Literally, in Avengers, there's a scene where Captain America's like, "I'm the guy who sacrificed himself. I don't see you doing that." And then
Yep.
he does it. He is Iron Man. His movie ends with him saying, "I'm Iron Man." His whole character arc ends with him saying, "I'm Iron Man." He goes from being super selfish to having a kid, and basically having two kids with Peter. And obviously, you see him grieving over Peter when what happened. But just to see him from where he starts, where he ends, even with the panic stuff, the panic attack, the anxiety stuff that happens in Iron Man 3, he's just the best character in the whole series. And obviously, he caused a lot of problems too. He created Ultron. Like, he almost
It's a big
murdered
problem.
the world. Big problem. But
And he very much has struggle handling that later.
yeah, and he goes through a lot, but I think he is the most well-rounded character and the best character in the whole series. And obviously, if you're going to be the one to wield the power glove and kill Thanos, you got to be pretty strong too.
Yeah.
So I think he's number one. I don't think anyone's beaten him.
No, not at all. Yeah, he can't be topped. I mean, he's Iron Man. Speaking of a mistake, Ultron.
Ultron, did they just? I don't know what they were trying to do. Two different things with him, and it didn't work. They were trying to make him menacing, but also have jokes like Tony, and it was just weird.
It's very weird.
It didn't feel right because of it. So it kind of sucks because he's super strong. Like he is the internet, which is insane. And then has all these different. He gets vibranium and all that stuff, so he's incredibly powerful. But as a villain, just left a lot to be desired.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, he's intimidating, but also at the same time, I don't feel intimidated. It's
Exactly.
very weird character. Power-wise, though, I mean, that's really holding him up here. So because of that, he can't go any lower than I think B. I don't know where though.
I mean, power-wise, yeah, he's incredible. I'd put him in between Mantis and M'Baku. I think it's a good spot for him because he's literally just getting carried by how strong he is.
That's true.
It's insane, and he is memorable for sure. He's a memorable villain. It's just it didn't work, at least for us. Maybe you feel like he's the best villain. You can tell us why. We'd love to hear it.
I mean, wasn't Age of Ultron like the worst of the everyone collaborative together ones?
Yeah. Of the collaborative Avengers movies, it's the worst one.
Exactly, yeah. So I think most of the consensus is the same then. We'll see though. But next up,
the Vulture, who we love because we have some inside jokes with the Vulture. He's great, and I mean Michael Keaton kills it. There's been a bunch of video essays you can watch about this topic, but the best thing about villains, especially Spider-Man villains, are ones that connect to the hero,
Yeah.
And him being the dad of the love interest makes it so much more interesting. You get that scene in the car with him and Peter, him holding him at gunpoint and all that, and choosing not to tell everyone a secret is really interesting. Like even after Peter saves his life and all that, and he sends him to jail. He could have easily told the world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but he just chooses not to, and I think that makes him really, really interesting. And as a villain, it works out. He is the friendly neighborhood villain. He's just the guy who cleans up after the Avengers and is selling like black market weapons. That's something that's super interesting. Like when you think about the MCU, there would definitely be someone doing that. Like
absolutely.
It feels like a real character, and I think he gets a lot of points for that. So. I think he's one of the best villains. He just doesn't get talked about as much because he's not as powerful as the other big villain. So
where would we put him for that though?
I'd probably say bottom of A tier just because his power is holding him back a lot. But I think if you don't know about him, watch Spider-Man: Homecoming. It's a great movie, and I think you'll appreciate him as a villain a lot.
Yeah. Hey, we got the Wasp.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, just a better version of Ant-Man. As far as he's so much more capable of a fighter. It's just obviously she doesn't have the giant man power, which is pretty strong to be able to turn yourself into a giant. but also she doesn't get as much character development as Ant-Man does. Like she does have some of, she was very clearly supposed to be Ant-Man, but her dad was just not letting her do it because he didn't want her to end up like her mom.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting it's an interesting dynamic, but she's kind of just there to be cool, and she's cool, but I feel like there's not like a ton to her character,
Yeah. I don't know where we'd put her though because of that.
Like power wise and whatnot, I think she's probably like middle of B tier, like power wise and character wise, because she's fun, she's super funny, very strong, cool character, but there's not like she hasn't developed a lot, There's definitely more there that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Wong is next. Wong invited to my wedding. The whole memes.
I feel like Wong kind of, if anything, drives Doctor Strange just as much as Benedict Cumberbatch.
You gotta elaborate on that one.
Like I feel like him and Doctor Strange, that movie wouldn't be the same without Wong. Like I feel like they both go hand in hand together to push the movie how good it is.
True. He's definitely a absolutely delightful character. Like anytime Wong's there, we love Wong.
Yeah.
We want more Wong. This man's a beast. But I mean, he's just Doctor Strange, but not as strong. Like power wise. And then character-wise, obviously he's fun. He has a ton of comedic moments, but he's just kind of there. He doesn't have. He's like if Wasp was less serious. Like he doesn't really. He doesn't really have a character arc at all. So.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like when I think of Doctor Strange, he's also there, just on the same level.
I mean, power-wise, yeah, but he doesn't have an Infinity Stone, so that's kind of an unfair advantage in Doctor Strange's corner.
Maybe this is just me being a little biased. I really like Wong.
I love Wong. He's great. It's just if we're considering everything we have been for everyone else, I don't think we can rank him that high.
No. Unfortunately, but I don't think he's any lower than like A.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, power-wise, it's incredible. It's just character-wise, I think he's lacking a lot.
Yeah, I think he goes here because Star-Lord's a demigod.
Yeah, true.
So I think that's a good spot for him. Yondu.
Yondu's fine. Like he has a lot of fun moments. Obviously, he sacrifices himself, all that good stuff, and he's really funny. And he has his arrow that's super sick, his whistle arrow. But I don't know. I feel like they want me to care more about Yondu than I do. Like they gave him a lot of screen time, and he has an interesting arc, going from trying to kill Star-Lord and make him work for him to sacrificing his life for him. But I don't know why I'm just not as invested in him as other characters.
I think it would have been way cooler if Yondu was Star-Lord's dad.
That would have been it. He basically is. Like as far as the story goes, he basically is his dad. Yeah. But he's a father figure in his life. That's what it is. But
yeah, I
think he's a solid character. He's obviously very strong. Like that arrow is crazy.
Yeah, that's nutty.
Cool. But I just don't. He's missing that like oomph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he's with Fury in B tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Above or below him?
I'd say above him, just because power-wise, he can mess people up.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, I gotta adjust the list a little bit so you guys can see the characters. Give me a quick second here. Sorry, Stanley, we're gonna have to push you off the screen a little. Okay. This is a lava demon.
Ragnarok. Not a lot to say. He's not really a character. He just exists to destroy Asgard and
entity.
Help Hela. But he's fun. Like the moments together, he's surprisingly funny. But he's a lava monster and he blows things up.
Big lava monster, rah.
So I mean, he's just he's D tier.
Yeah.
But he's likable somehow. So
where though?
I'd put him in between the cat and Red Boy over there.
Hey, at least he beats the cat.
Lewis, we love Lewis. He's amazing, but again, he's just a side character. Like he doesn't change at all. Like he's just Lewis, and he's really funny. He's really happy. He's an ex-con. He helps out Ant-Man, but he doesn't actually do anything. Other than drive around. So There's not much to say, really. I
No.
mean, I think he's here just because of how much of a fun time he is. But I don't think he can go any. Just power wise, yeah. I'd say that's good.
I was doing that
There's
more
not-
character wise.
I mean, he's great. We love him. All those scenes where he's describing everything in detail and breaking things down, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, not a lot to him as a character.
No, unfortunately. Funny guy.
He's
though.
more of a gimmick.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
But speaking of gimmicks, here's Flash, who is supposed to be Peter's bully, but basically gets bullied by Peter. Like, it's kind of rough. Oh my god, he has one of the saddest moments. Oh my lord! In this was minor spoiler alert, but
I mean, this whole movie, this video.
in Far From Home, at the end of the movie, because obviously they're traveling the world in the movie, and almost die because Spider-Man stuff happens. But when they all are coming back from the airport, it's very reminiscent of Chucky from Rugrats, where he's really rich and his butler comes to pick him up and he's like, "Did mom and dad make it?" And the butler's like, "No." So it sucks. Like, it sucks for him. I feel so bad.
Bad, man.
So caught off guard. Justice for Flash, but obviously he's a bully, so I mean, it is what it is. But he's just there, you know. He doesn't do anything. He's there for comedic effect, and that's kind of it. But we love him though. I feel bad for him.
Where would we put him?
I'd say below happy is fine. He's just there.
I think you called this guy Abomination.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name. I'm pretty sure that's his genuine name is Abomination. And that's kind of how his character is. He's just like, oh, I want to be strong, so I'm going to get the Hulk serum. And then it turns him into that. And he's like, let me break things. Very generic villain. Not a lot there. Kind of trash. Like, he's just strong, which obviously is good.
Yeah, it's Abomination.
He's just such a
he's just a
factor
thing.
villain that he's F tier, you know?
Yeah, he's just kind of, I don't know, like, looking him up even further, this is the only image we have of him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at, there's like nothing. He's just bad villain number 3, you know?
Yeah, he's super, super bland. So.
And it kind of sucks, because, I don't know.
But on the complete opposite note of that, Mysterio, really interesting what they do with him. I won't say too much about it, but yeah, those of you that have seen Far From Home, really, really, really interesting stuff. Really interesting connection to Iron Man and all that. Throughout the entire movie, but especially with Mysterio.
Yeah.
And how they handle his power in this movie is really cool. And he's just a fun villain. You know, he's a really, really fun villain. And obviously Jake Gyllenhaal, it's really cool that he's in the MCU now. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about him. He is memorable, and the way they handle him is really cool and how his power works. But he is, as far as his motivations, very similar to a lot of other MCU villains, which is, Tony Stark did something bad to me at some point, so now I'm angry. Like, there's at least 5 villains that are like,
yeah.
Like, it's
like, all right, guys. Like, okay, Tony Stark is big rich man who did stuff, but you don't need to really go out for it.
No, it's so whack. So I think because of that, you can't go higher than a C tier. But he is a really interesting character, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
So
definitely, I think that's a good spot for him.
But speaking of things that aren't interesting, here's
Chest Bane.
Birdman.
Bird.
With his whips. Like, he's just, again, he's another Iron Man did something to me, so I don't like him. Meh. That's his whole character. Yeah. He likes his bird, and he has whips, and he gets bops in the end, and that's it. Like, there's really not a lot to him. I'd say he's better than Mandarin and Abomination, but it's not a lot. No. So,
unfortunately. But hey, what you gonna do? Maybe we'll see him come back. Maybe he'll be a really good character, but for right now, he's poop tier.
Yeah. But non-poop tier, Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, aka the narrator for the live action Grinch movie, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh my God.
And leader of Westworld as well.
Wow, this man is in everything.
He is. But as far as Odin, he actually doesn't get a lot to do. It kind of sucks because like he has to be Odin the god, you know, like he's just kind of there. And like he has some moments with Thor which are cool, and some moments with Loki as well. But he doesn't develop at all really. He's just always old man. You know, old
I am old man. Hello.
But he does have some fun scenes in Ragnarok because Loki is pretending to be him. So him, like the actor pretending to be Loki is pretending to be him is a really fun scene. But other than that, I mean, he's just kind of there. He serves the purpose, but doesn't develop much. He's obviously powerful. We don't see it. It's all about what he's done in the past.
Yeah.
So,
but also, if you know mythology, it's fucking Odin.
Yeah, exactly. As far as mythology goes, he's up there, but we don't see anything. So
yeah.
I feel like he's C tier because of that.
Where though?
Like I'd say he's right next to Ancient One. It's the same kind of deal. Like super powerful, we just never experience it.
Never see it in the movie, unfortunately. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next up,
way more screen time than she does. But anyway.
True.
Maria Hill. Sorry.
Another agent of Shield.
She's basically just Coulson, but not as emotionally invested. You know what I mean? Like she's funnier, but that's it. She's just around. It's weird. Like she doesn't really do anything. I'm sure she does stuff in Agents of Shield, but again, we're not counting that. So she just kind of exists and is fine. Like she's just an agent of Shield, which is cool. But I mean, there's a bunch of other people that just use guns that are better than you. So.
I know. So where do we put her for that though?
I think she's bottom of C tier. Like, well, obviously in front of Lewis, but you know, there. Because I mean, you can't put her lower than Lewis. Lewis doesn't really do anything, but we love him.
Yeah.
That's about how it goes.
Unfortunately.
Next up, I'm totally blanking on his character, but Jeff Bridges, who sounds like he's just like gargling salt water when he talks. Tony. I don't know why he sounds like that. He just does. But as a villain, like he's the first guy to be like, Tony screwed me over, so now I don't like him. So he gets points for that, but it gets super played out as we've noticed.
Yeah.
So there's only so much we can say about him. He's the first person to be an Iron Man copy, which we'll see a lot of.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a trendsetter. But he's just, in the grand scheme of things, really lame. But at the moment, wasn't that bad. So I think he's like D tier.
Yeah. He's above Groot.
You know. Well, power-wise, yeah, probably. But I mean, yeah, I'd put him there because, like, again, who is he in comparison to Baby Groot?
Good, valid point. Baby Groot is very important. Exactly. Without Baby Groot, we wouldn't have a Marvel universe.
Wow. Okay. But,
Evil elf boy.
I don't even. I think it's Malekith or something like that. We're gonna come out and say it. I think Jason will agree with me. Maybe he'll disagree with me, but we'll see. At least I am of the mindset that Thor: The Dark World is the worst movie in the MCU, and it's not close. Like, it is really, really underwhelming, and especially for a movie that like has a lot of serious plot development going as far as the entire like Infinity Saga. It's so not fun to watch, and then there's some fun scenes in it.
It's a very slow moving movie.
Yeah, it's really long for no reason and really boring, and it's like the prequels of MCU movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, did we need all these scenes of people just sitting there doing nothing? No, we didn't. So he's the loser in this, is that he's the big bad from it, and a lot of people have not seen it. So, you know, rough. But he is powerful. But again, there's a lot of people at the bottom of the tier list that are powerful. So, you know, I think I think he's yeah, I think that's a good spot there. F tier for sure. If you want to debate it, definitely let us know if we're missing something on him, but I don't think there's a lot there.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I would love to hear someone's opinion about him, though. So there's a few people we've asked you guys to comment about, so please let us know. But Tobey Maguire, too.
Baby Tobey Maguire, a.k.a. Zemo.
Zemo.
It's weird because him himself isn't powerful, but if you can get the Avengers to fight each other and basically resurrect the Winter Soldier, that's pretty good.
It's
but
important.
He's just a person at the end of the day. Like, you know, he's just a dude.
He is just dude.
Just rolling with Hydra. But he's, for being the main villain of Civil War, he's super forgettable, you know? And as soon as they figure out it's him, it's over. The movie ends. As soon as they realize, wait a minute, someone's trying to get us to fight each other. Let's go get him. And then that's it. Like, that's the end of it. So I I don't think, even though I'm trying to make a case for him being powerful, I don't think he is. Even in politics wise, like yes, he got them to fight each other. That they fought each other for like 2 hours, and then that was it. So
yeah, he's just dude.
Yeah, he's just an angry little boy. So I feel like he is, but I want to give him credit for putting them against each other.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
Yeah, so I'd say like right below Baby Groot again. That's one of the villains. So
Ghost.
Yeah, good old Ghost. I don't have a lot to say about
bland
him,
name.
I mean,
Bland name. I liked the concept a lot. I really did.
Cool.
Yeah, really liked the concept a lot. Liked the power. Her character is very vengeful. Like she really wants to make sure that what her goal is her goal.
Feels like an anime character that just got dropped into the MCU.
Kinda, yeah. A little bit.
Like, who is this edgelord over here? Like, what is this? Like, and I think that's intentional because they put it in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is one of the most comedic movies there are. So,
yeah,
you know, they're fine, but I don't think she's that strong, and I don't think she's that important of a character. I mean, if we get more from her, that'd be great. But as of right now, still a lot to be desired there.
Yeah, I liked her concept. I liked her motives, and I liked her power. But I mean, again, with Bucky, we were talking about that earlier. One-dimensional is all hell.
I think she probably goes, right in between Bucky and Korg for that reason.
Yeah,
you know, just want to see more.
Yeah, I'm not. My mind just disappeared for a second. I was like, where'd they go? I gotta keep scrolling. This tier list is getting a little big. Okay, almost done. Last row, guys. Last row. Dormammu, so, I've come to bargain.
Yeah, with a lot of these last ones, we're not going to have too much to say, but Dormammu, super strong, obviously like one of the most powerful beings there are, but as a character, there's not much there. Just wants to destroy everything. So that's kind of it. Like just alien that's strong that wants to destroy things. So nothing we haven't seen before. I mean, the way Doctor Strange defeats him is really fun.
I love that.
That's Strange, not Dormammu. So you know,
yeah.
I feel like it's another D tier, somewhere below Baby Groot. That's where we're going.
Power wise, he has.
Yeah, power wise, that's fair.
Yeah. I love that Baby Groot outpowers him though.
The cuteness overpowers him. But I'm blanking on what this character's name is, but he's the main Kree guy from Marvel. Who's actually a fun character. The fact that the Kree are supposed to be the villain and Captain Marvel, then surprised they're not, it was actually one of the best parts of the movie. Like I think the Kree are really fun, and any screen time we get with them is actually really delightful. It's just character development wise, there's not a ton there. Basically, it's like surprise he has a family, but not as like as compelling as Hawkeye is. So, but as a Kree, you do have a lot of. He is powerful because mind games, but once they know he's a Kree, it's over. So I feel like he's B tier.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's a ton.
That's fair.
It's a fun character.
Yeah, definitely. Back to another lackluster villain.
Yeah, another lackluster villain. Just Ant-Man, but not Ant-Man. He's
big bulky Ant-Man.
Like the jacket or something.
Yellow Jacket, I'm pretty sure.
Yellow Jacket, there you go. But yeah, kind of sucked. I mean, I like the actor because he was in House of Cards, and the character is kind of interesting. But it's basically the same thing as, oh man, Tony Stark did something wrong, except it was Ant-Man, the original Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Instead of Stark. So not a lot there.
No.
Just another hero or a villain that's a copy of the hero.
Yeah. And
is there and gone.
No, you said his name's like the Jacket or something. I really want a villain just named the Jacket.
He's just his power is dangerous comfortability.
Here's a jacket that's slightly too tight and a little too itchy.
Oh god.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think he goes in F tier as well. With the rest of the,
I don't. Where though?
I think he's top of F tier. I think he's more interesting of a character than all of them, but still great. You know.
Yeah. Yo, Blazer Blonde Boy.
Same thing with him. I think he's literally right below Yellow Jacket. I think it's Killian, Aldrich Killian, I believe.
Killian Fancyson.
But he's just, again, another version of Tony Stark stood me up on a rooftop, so now I'm mad. And I'm going to breathe fire at people and, like, make this weird serum, and then, oop, it's gone. So it's just very forgettable. Extremely.
It sucks. It sucks that there's so many villains in F tier. There's a lot of great heroes in the Marvel movies, but the villains are all really lackluster.
Hopefully that changes in phase
I hope
4.
so too, yeah.
As of now, that's what we got.
Yeah.
So speaking of lackluster villains, Crossbones, Stryker, Bane, who knows?
Marvel's Bane.
Just like a freaking edgy Lego over here. That's it. He's been in the movie for like 10 minutes or like less than that. Like it's so forgettable. Sorry. Like he's like right just in front of Mandarin, honestly, like just barely, because it's a cool comic book nod. But other than that, the movies did not do him justice at all. So.
Man, hopefully one of these characters starts getting a little higher, because it's been like D, F for these past few of them, and it's getting kind of depressing down here.
I think this guy here is going to be the one to do it. Like as far as motivations go, there's not a ton there, but I do think the way the character is executed, it makes you want to know more about him. You know what I mean? Like he is a really interesting character, and he's obviously really fight Doctor Strange are strong, but I don't know, he's just kind of like evil at the end of the day.
He's kind of evil.
Yeah. Sometimes people are just evil for evil's sake. I mean, he has more of a backstory than that, so it's a bit better.
Yeah.
But I think he's in between like Klaw and Quicksilver. Like, I think Klaw is a more interesting villain than he is.
I'd agree.
You know, so.
I'd agree. Yeah, he's definitely better than Quicksilver for sure. Yeah, but here's where we're getting out of it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Legend herself. She's so cool.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, she is just like not a super soldier, just a soldier with a spear at the end of the day. But I mean, she's so fun. Like every time she's on screen, it's super enjoyable. She's hilarious, and it's just a great character to be around, and one of the best. Like, thing about Black Panther is every character that they introduce just nails it. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Black Panther, when it came to character, not development, but like character portrayals, it hit it out of the park. Absolutely.
Yeah, but the thing that holds her back is just she's very similar to Falcon and to Bucky in the way of like, yes, they're enhanced soldiers, like she's the leader of the army, but there's not like a ton to her powers, and she's held back. But as a character, she's really fun. She hasn't had a ton of character development other than her man's or her boyfriend or whatever the relationship they had. The guy from Get Out, Daniel Kaluuya, he sided with Killmonger and she didn't. So that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But they didn't even flesh that out. Like they didn't talk about her being like broken up about that or anything. She's just like, well, I'm gonna get to fighting now. So
time to go.
But she's really cool. I just think she's like top of C, maybe bottom of B, just because she hasn't gotten a ton of character.
We'll put her bottom of B. She's got a lot of really good impact.
Well, yeah,
even without development.
You know she's there, and that's a huge deal in a series with this many characters.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, we got another buddy.
Ned, I think he just goes right. I think he goes just above Lewis. Honestly, I think Ned's so fun. Like he's so fun. Guy in the chair. He's literally the dude from Kim Possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he has a ton of fun scenes, a ton of funny moments, and like if you watch those Spider movies, like you will love Ned. Like he's just such a fun character.
Great guy.
But obviously he's just a sidekick. You know. At the end of the day.
There's not much you can really say about him other than that. I mean, he's a sidekick who doesn't have spider powers, but he's really fun.
Exactly.
Really, really cool guy.
So, onward though, Heimdall is kind of weird. Like he's one of the only characters from the Thor universe that doesn't change. You know, like he changes a little bit. It's not as bad as Odin, where Odin's just the same the entire time.
Yeah.
Heimdall does get some cool moments, but then he just gets bopped by Thanos. Like it just destroyed. So I don't know what to do with him because he is important. He has a lot of important scenes, but his character isn't that interesting, at least to me. Maybe you find it interesting.
I mean, I don't think he's written to be interesting.
That's what I'm saying, and it's cool that Idris Elba is in this universe because he's such a good actor. But his character doesn't get a lot to do,
unfortunately.
Know? So I feel like he's like top of D tier. Or no, like he's below Groot again. He's in there, you know.
I feel like with a lot of the Thor, like the main Thor cast are the ones that are like we were talking about how Black Panther, every character doesn't miss a mark. Thor has the most misses, I think. Like the Thor section of the series. But yeah, that's for a different story.
Though, MJ, aka
Zendaya.
She's also super fun, like super, like as soon as she's on screen, it's a great time because her character is really fun, and she nails. Her and Tom Holland have great chemistry, and nails the whole like awkward teenager vibe, which is great. But she doesn't get a lot to do is the problem. She does figure out that he is Spider-Man, but doesn't do anything with that. Obviously, she's not going to rat him out. She's not a snitch, so it's just kind of there. And their love arc hasn't really happened much, like a little bit at the end, but
it's not super fleshed out.
Yeah, we need another movie before we can really rank her that high. So with TBD with her, but
we're not putting her TBD tier, but so what we know first.
I think she goes Lewis, you know,
yeah,
like just in the kind of side character area here.
Yeah.
I think Ned has more to do is the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Ned got both movies. She kind of just got the second one.
I mean, she was in the first one.
Well, yes, but Ned was more prominent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Jane, again, I think she has the Heimdall problem of really cool that Natalie Portman is in this universe. It's just her character doesn't get a ton to do.
And well.
Then they break them off in Endgame. I think it is they have them break up off screen.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, she becomes really powerful because of Thor: The Dark World. And then, I don't know if her contract is up with Marvel or something, but something happened, and she's just not involved in the story anymore. So I don't know what happened to her character, but it's weird. I don't know what to do with her, because she does, at one point, is super powerful, but then at other points isn't. So I feel like we should just put her at bottom of C. Because
I think that's fair.
But I don't know. As a character, she's just kind of there. You know, I think her the friend whose name I'm blanking on, but the friend of Jane's in Thor is way more interesting than Jane is. But you know,
I think that's a fair evaluation.
Yeah, what can you do?
Now we got Peter Dinklage's character, the blacksmith, the creator. We don't remember the exact name. That I don't think anyone does, but I think I remember it being called the blacksmith.
Yeah, he's literally just there to be Peter Dinklage in the MCU. I swear.
Kind of.
To make Thor's weapon, but that's it.
Yeah, I really liked him though.
I mean, he gets his one moment of what did he say? He's like, "That's what killing you means," or something like that. But I mean, he's enjoyable on screen, but I think it's more because we like Peter Dinklage as opposed to the actual character.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, we've talked about the actor's delivery for a lot of these other characters too. So
he also gets 2 minutes in the entire MCU.
That's fair.
I feel like you can't put that high because all of these are more important characters besides the cat, but all of these are more prominent characters.
Arguably, the cat's kind of the basis to the whole story.
True. But I just think he goes in between Heimdall and what's his name? Dormammu.
Dormammu.
Dormammu. Fun for the moment, but if he actually became a character, we can rank him higher.
True.
He's a cameo, not a character.
Like Sylvester Stallone, which we did not include.
Yeah, but
Squidward,
basically the #1 Thanos minion. He actually is really powerful. I mean, if you body Doctor Strange, you got to be pretty strong. But he ends up dying and gets outsmarted by the group and kind of there and gone. But while he was there, I actually did make an impression. I hated him. He was getting on my nerves when he was on screen.
And I think punk.
He is, but obviously the Squidward jokes are fun, and he was there and gone. But for when he was there, it was interesting.
Yeah, it was a fun time to have him. I just don't know where we'd put him.
Power wise, he's strong too. So I feel like he goes He goes in between Klaw and Doctor Strange villain. I feel like that's a good spot.
Yeah.
They're all powerful.
Yeah.
He had so much less time than they did.
True. All right, we got Ronan 2.
Speaking of less time, yeah, Ronan Jr., Thanos minion number 2. Literally no character whatsoever. At least Squidward got some dialogue, but this one really just showed up and stabbed Vision and then just left. Like,
yeah.
that was... So I think they're F tier for sure. It just, you know, in between Ronan. Because I mean, if you body Vision, you gotta be strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, but I know strength's been holding a lot of people up for this, but lack of character, I think, is holding him way down. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we did the same thing. I just put him a 1 rank above. I feel like he's...
You think Abomination's even worse?
I think Abomination's worse.
You know, honestly, yeah, good point.
So...
Alrighty, last 2.
So, I'm totally blanking on Nakia.
Nakia, yeah.
From Black Panther. Again, another character from Black Panther that's really enjoyable. Like,
all of them are.
No, she doesn't have, like, a ton to bring to the table. Like, she's just kind of there to kind of be... T'Challa's moral compass to a degree. Obviously, T'Challa is a very moral character. It's just she's there to really, really hold him down and be like, "Look, are you sure you're doing anything?
Yeah,
I don't know." And she fights as well, but she's more of like an activist in the world than anything. You know, she's very similar to Shuri, except Shuri's more like in the lab cooking things up. She's there giving guidance. You know? And
absolutely.
People on the ground. So. Obviously, she's not very powerful, but she is very impactful. So
yeah, different kind of power.
Yeah, I feel like she goes somewhere in C tier. I just don't know where.
Man, that's tough because we've got normal ass people, and then we've got normal ass person with a suit, and then
I feel like
alien.
That's where she goes. Yeah, I mean, just because she's just a normal person.
Yeah,
like, there's only so far that can get you. You know.
Yeah. Alrighty, last one. Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is so strong.
Yeah.
Like, they really make jokes in the movies being like, why isn't she here more? Because, like, good lord, she's incredible. But I think that's one thing that's holding her back is that, like, she's so strong, but we don't get to see it very often. When we do, oh my god, she almost murders Thanos one-on-one, which is crazy.
That's saying something.
And she bodies Vision too, and some other things. She basically single-handedly saves like thousands of people from dying in Age of Ultron. It's just, as a character, it's very similar to Vision. Like, she kind of shows up. She has the death of her brother that she actually has way more character development than Vision does, because you know her and Hawkeye have a bond when her brother dies, and you know, then she has a romance arc with Vision, but it's still not explained a ton. Like,
the romance arc with Vision felt so forced.
I know. I wish it was more smoothly incorporated, but I think they just had to get from point A to point B with some of these movies, so
yeah,
what it is. But obviously, incredibly powerful, surprisingly cathartic with her performance. But I think her character is holding her back a bit, just because. Yeah, I look at A tier, I look at S tier, and these are so much more fleshed out and interesting characters than what we've gotten from her so far. But she's definitely on her way up.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think she's definitely above Yondu. Absolutely.
I'd say she's A tier.
Yeah.
Like I'd say she's in between Hawkeye and Shuri.
Yeah.
She's so strong, but I wish there was more to her character.
I definitely agree with that.
So.
But that's it, guys.
That'll do it though. There it is.
We got Stan Lee in his own tier at the top. There's your S tier. And I'll scroll down. There's the rest of them. And there's your F tier. I think this was a very interesting one for a lot of different reasons. You don't see many characters, like specifically character tier lists for the Marvel movies. You usually just see the Marvel movies or the heroes.
Yeah, it'll be heroes or villains, you know?
Yeah, you won't see everything together. I'm going to keep scrolling up and down while we're talking to end it off so you guys can kind of see the whole thing. Actually, I could probably just zoom out now I think about it. Look at me figuring out how to do things. There we go. Perfect. There we go. But yeah, there's the tier list for you guys. Yet another one in the books. The video is going to be a little over 2 hours, so hopefully that's enough time for you guys to maybe listen on the drive to work or maybe on the background while you're working on some other stuff. But yeah, Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Absolutely let us know what you think about our tier list in the comment section below. Make your own tier list. Link us, as usual, at our socials, at DarkZachRom998.
And, yeah, don't forget, let us know if you have any tier lists you want us to do in the future. If you have any ideas, let us know. We have a ton of stuff we want to do, but if you have something you really want us to do, we'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Storm Targaryen.
I'm DarkZachRom, and make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and until next time, guys, peace out.